Hello and welcome to today's wild Hearthstone deck tech and gameplay video on Divine Shield Paladin. Divine Shield Paladin does exactly what you would think from the name, a paladin deck that runs various Divine Shield cards all amongst the curve, either cards that have Divine Shield or pay off for having other creatures with Divine Shield like Funkfin. You can argue Blood Knight is in that same payoff kind of category, as well as the new Toreth the Unbreaking, all of which are all of which are part of the Divine Shield payoff package, if you want to call it that. The rest are just, for the most part, good cards that like have Divine Shield for the most part. If not, are just okay cards like a Grill Master, or even a Lightforge Carriel. Some of them are not directly Divine Shield cards, but I have found them to be good enough cards, and the deck needs some glue to hold it together. But yeah, for the most part, all we want to do is play Divine Shield minions, cash in one of our payments for having Divine Shield on our various creatures, go face, and hopefully squeeze out a win. I will be honest, I don't think this build of it is like, if you're going to make a Divine Shield Paladin in Wild, I don't think this list is the version. Pardon me as I move the mic. But this is one of those, it feels a little odd. After having a couple weeks of testing with this, I feel like if you're going to run a Divine Shield Paladin, you either want to go more wide aggressive early on and try and cash in with a really big Blood Knight, or try and play more mid-rangey, middle of the curve, just good Divine Shield cards, and try and make use out of Toreth. But Toreth is such a weird card. Because on top of Toreth being, I would argue, a weaker payoff for Divine Shield, you can't ignore the fact that there's lots of Reno decks floating around, and you can build up the perfect Divine Shield board and just have it Reno'd away or Zephyrus'd away or something. So it's like really hard to make this work, but I would love to see if you at home have any ideas or recommendations for a Divine Shield Paladin list. But anywho, with all that out of the way, we'll go on now to game number 1. And game number 1 with our little Divine Shield Paladin. And for the most part, I have found that just trying to find a curve early on is about the best that you can do. Divine Shield, no matter how you've cut it, it's not bad. Is just really board based, so you got to build up a board as soon as you can and hope your opponent doesn't interact with it. Which, if it sounds like you're almost in, like, you know, magical Christmas land, you're kind of getting there. But, you know, example, also, another reason why Divine Shield's difficult is like half of the fucking hero powers can just pop a Divine Shield whenever. So it's like really hard to make any like good use of the like Divine Shield payoffs, because it's so easy. We'll coin the Dark Moon Dirigible or whatever the hell it's called, but it's so hard to like build up enough of a board of Divine Shields and then also have the Divine Shield stay and then also play the Divine Shield payoff. You have to jump through so many hoops to get this thing to work. Is this one of those like cute Protoss that like wants to do a Tog Waggles thing on all of its Archons? Or I played Hearthstone. I played StarCraft. What are they fucking called when they merge? Whatever. As I was sitting here struggling to think about what the things are called, another prime example of another hero power just invalidates all of our cards and payoffs. I'll keep trying to make it work, but all they have to do is next turn, if nothing else, just hero power, bonk into my Divine Shield, And then I'm just kind of sitting here doing nothing. Of course, removal's pretty plentiful on the format, so even if you take away, like, the hero power interacting, it's like a lot of classes just have traditional interaction. I mean, luckily, we've been given an opening to develop a board and have a couple Divine Shield payoffs, which is nice. We like that. Almost certainly in this... It was Archon. Okay. They are almost certainly doing something cute. Another card that just makes our life miserable, but okay. Guess we'll play a Talon Fordring. At this stage, just try and go face. Their Rogue, which traditionally doesn't have a whole lot of ways to heal outside of like a Spectral Cutlass or Reno. So if nothing else, we can try and put on some pressure and make something happen as a result of that. Really just takes the trade. Fucking Shadow Blade. I mean, good on you. Yeah, okay. Not what I expected, if we're being honest. We have Funkfin, so I'm actually just going to go a little wide here. Guess we'll do a Grill Master to draw. And again, go face. Grill Master, I think I loosely talked about this in the deck tech. Grill Master is just one of those glue cards. It's, for the most part, pretty unconditional card draw that Paladin can like struggle to have, and is a perfectly acceptable body in addition to its card draw. Yeah, there's a taunt there, sir. Okay. Waggle Pick. Death Rattle, return a friendly minion to your hand, cost 2 let. Cool. That's fine. Okay, what do we do here? Hang on. We have Uther's Gift. I think we just have lethal. Yeah, I think we just Uther's Gift for a Blessing of Kings. One of the reasons why I love Uther's Gift. And then we just go face with the rest. I'll take a free win. I mean, and to be fair, all of my... oh, what's the word? Moaning and groaning about the deck aside. I mean, like, it'll get you wins. You're not gonna climb with it. If we're being entirely honest. I don't think the deck is that strong, even though you see a victory screen right now. But anywho, with all that out of the way, we'll go on now to game number 2. And game number 2 with our little Divine Shield Paladin. And much like in game 1, we're just going to look for a curve. Not Spotlight or Stone Drake. We have a Jitterbug, so I guess we're going to keep one. Hopefully find a curve, and then... oh, that helps, though. Big Blood Knight. I was going to say, if hopefully we could find some of our 1-drops or earlier drops to sort of ramp into and then use the Jitterbug card draw effect. But if my opponent even gives me, and they might not with to access to Death Knight hero power, but if they give me the opportunity, I will coin a Blood Knight and have a 6/6. But they're not gonna. Or maybe they are. What's the thing? Okay. We take what we can get. Coin, Blood Knight, go face. For the most part now, we're just going to try and put them on the defensive. Hopefully a 6/6 is big enough. Which, I mean, for the most part, a lot of the, at least early on, Death Knight removal, maybe short of Asphyxiate, I think is the name of the card. Anything short of that. Unless they want to, like, throw a whole board and a whole turn into my 1/6/6, which if they do that, we'll take it. But unless they do that, like, odds are they're taking 6 to the dome. I mean, which, you know, we take those. I'm sorry. Spell Burst, trigger a random friendly minion's death rattle, is also a starship piece. Cool. Okay. The deck is a little weird. Miracle Salesman, Dreadhound Handler, and then also some Starship stuff. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I hope they're here, but I itch my eyes like crazy. Okay, so they're not Reno, so there goes that. My thought was that maybe they were Reno and they were just like looking real deep to like get enough cards to like meet the criteria. If that makes sense. Do I care? Hang on. I think Consecration is like 3 or 4. I think it's 4 mana. So in the meantime, go face. Might be able to race our opponent weirdly, which I did not think would be the case. Oh my god, my eyes are so itchy. Which is fine. I can itch my eyes during my opponent's turn. Okay. 2, 4, 6. 6 and 3 is 9. 6, 10, 11. We win the race, but we're at a lower total. Is Consecration 3? Hang on. I should know this. Hearthstone Consecration. Consecration. How much does it cost? It's 3 mana. It's not bad. Yeah, we'll take that. It's not exactly developing our board, but it's crushing theirs, so we'll take what we can get. Is the snake oil in their hand? Yeah, it's in their hand. Shouldn't matter. Now we just keep applying pressure. Perks about a Consecration is that not only does it answer our opponent's board, but does apply a little bit of pressure to their face as well. And we've done the good thing that any deck that wants to apply any amount of pressure will do, that I've said many times before and will say many times after. We have put them in a spot where we have to make them have it. Whatever it is doesn't matter. They have to have it or they die. Great spot to be in. I don't think we die, right? No. What? I don't think anything kills me. So I think we're okay. And then we'll just go face. If our opponent didn't. I will be honest, if our opponent just like rage conceded and we have to sit here for the rope, I'm gonna keep the game. This is a weird... Yeah, okay, I say if they rage conceded or whatever, that's totally fine, but like the game is complete here, so I'm not gonna use one turn of roping to like throw away a whole game's worth of footage. But this is gonna be one of those weird moments where like I don't think my list is like the list that's gonna work, and I'm not even totally sold on Divine Shield Paladin as an archetype. Don't be being about it. I'm not totally sold on Divine Shield as an archetype, though this might just be like I made a bad list, so I feel bad about it. There might be a different way to build a Divine Shield Paladin list that works. But like, it just feels so... How do I word this? There are Divine Shield payoffs, but like Blood Knight and the new Toreth, and even like the Jitterbug and the Funkfin dude, like, how do I word this? I still think, like I talked about in the deck tech, I think the better way to do it is go like really wide early on with Divine Shield threats, and then use either Blood Knight or Funkfin to turn those into damage, either a big Blood Knight or a Funkfin with a wide scary board. I don't think that Glitterbug could go in a more aggressive list and be fine. Toreth just feels so weird. It's like a 5-drop that needs so many things to be like perfectly in line for it to work as a card, if that makes sense. And even then, maybe if it had, like, you know, your Divine Shield breaks in 3 and your Divine Shield minions have elusive or something. But you need so many things to be exactly right for the new Toreth, or whatever his name is, to work. So I don't think this list of Divine Shield Paladin is the way to go. I think Divine Shield Paladin has potential if it's not there at the moment. Maybe once a mini set comes out, if we get more Divine Shield cards, maybe I'll come back to this list. But this is one of those where I'm not saying I won't come back to it, but it's going to be like a hot minute if they don't release something in the mini set, I imagine. But anywho, thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like the video if you like it. Subscribe if you like my grab bag of content and would like to see more in the future. And if you have any sort of questions like, I don't have X, what about Y, or other generally nice and or constructive comments, I'll do what I can to respond to what I see. Or in this case, if you think you have like a different version of Divine Shield Paladin to run, I'll not saying I'm going to use your list, but I'll take a look at it, kind of thing, to see where I might like have missed or like messed up in creation. But anywho, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.